summer camp for high school age players who want to learn from the best coaches in the world. Go there. Game Point Performance, online training tips and programs for ultimate athletes. Train, recover, repeat. Friction Gloves, consistent grip in all conditions. Spike Ball, join the movement. And Fulcrum Media Group, we exist to share stories that matter. Abby, I am so happy to be outside. The indoor game was great, but it looks like the thunderstorms are holding off. What are some keys to this game that you're looking for?
Well, the wind has been picking up at times during this warm-up. I saw both teams throw an upwind and downwind, trying to get used to how that is going to change their game. Also, this is the first time that we've seen the Seattle boys team play yet today. They've been on the bus for a day and a half now. They got to watch their girls team play yesterday, but I'm just excited to see them run around, get off some of that energy.
I'm really excited about the Seattle-Boston matchup. I think it's a style difference, right? Boston, I think, is going to look for really consistent, not taking too many aggressive shots, really grinding out on offense, really strong person defense, where I think Seattle is going to look to play fast, a little unconventional, shoot shots early, and also on defense really come down in some junk zones, maybe some poachy looks, lots of different flashes. When those two styles come in and clash, it's so much fun to watch. Abby, when you're going against a team that says, okay, we are going to grind it out on defense and offense, we're going to use our legs, we're going to use our depth, what do you like to do in this huddle? What's your strategy coming from as a coach?
My strategy is taking it 1 point at a time, one throw at a time, one catch at a time. We can't be thinking about the end result of this game, point number one. We got to be thinking about what can we do at this moment during this 1 point to wear this team down. We know both teams are going to have a ton of energy. They've got depth on this roster from top to bottom, and we're just excited to see each player take it to each other on the field today.
Completely agree. And we were lucky enough to just sit on the sideline during the warm-up and talk to some of the BUDA players. Incredibly welcoming, so much fun to just hang out. This whole event has just been so much fun, and it takes a community, not only from all the wonderful sponsors we have, the coaches, all the parents, but also the teams that are hosting. We're staying at these incredible homestays. John, one of the coaches of the U17, took the team out on a historical walk of Boston. Not only are we playing some fantastic ultimate, but we're getting just hosted by some wonderful people.
Absolutely, and you can tell just from talking to some of the boys this morning before the game, the type of community that they have. Jack Rice, who we spoke to for a little bit, described the team as 25 best friends, which is an awesome thing to hear, especially at the youth ultimate level. Especially, this isn't just a high school team where you're seeing everybody every day. This is people from all over the Boston area coming together. Maybe they were rivals in high school, and now they get to come out and compete with each other. Be 25 best friends.
25 best friends. I wish I had 25 best friends. Here it looks like BUDA is going to be pulling, BUDA in light pulling to Seattle in dark. My guess is BUDA is going to come down in a person, probably force away or home. I'm not exactly sure, but sorry, that was poor analyzing. But I know Dylan and Kelly love to start off the game with a pull play. I wouldn't be surprised if I saw a flood or something just to get kind of the butterflies away. When I know the first point, you're like, oh, I don't know what to do. Having a pull play to kind of lean on and kind of settle in is really helpful.
I agree. I think that if you're Seattle and you're able to come out here with a clean hold, it just sends that message of like, hey, yeah, it's the first point of the game, but we don't care. We're here to play, and we're here to score.
And here comes the pull. It looks like Seattle's going into a side stack, centering to a soft. It looks like a flood play. Here's the flood play. Nobis swooping out and under, coming under. Will Turner looking deep. Pump fakes. A little difficulty going, but I love that. It was kind of a fake flood play where they didn't go all the way to the far sideline, but they looped back around and then now are in a vert stack. Seattle is trying something new with this vert stack, similar to how Boston, great open side cut by Nobis for the goal. You could see open side really grinding. Here we have hard cut, tough inside break. Good mark there, swinging around. Soren getting the disc. Gabe Nobis sets up a great deep cut right here. Will Turner turning right in the stride, finding Nobis on the cone.
Seattle showing that they have patience during that offensive hold. As you were saying, we saw their side stack, we saw their pull play. Maybe it wasn't exactly what they wanted, but they showed that they can hold onto the disc for a little bit, still find someone who's open and find a new option downfield.
So BUDA's first chance on offense. I think this wind is definitely picking up a little bit, where I would be really interested to see how many deep shots go off. You know, there were a couple of looks for Seattle, and I think this wind did feel just enough where those small window hucks aren't going to go up this game. For Seattle on D now, feeling like the wind, we want to kind of think about what do you want to throw with this first point, Abby?
I think you throw a junk for 3 passes. I know we talked about that yesterday in the stream, and I know we are itching to see it, but I think a lot of times you expect first point of the game that people are going to come down, person defense, get their legs underneath them, get everything firing. But if you come down in a junk just for a couple of passes, maybe take away their pull play, take away their first and second options, we might see a turnover from this BUDA team, or just see what they can do in return to Seattle.
And we can see a shot of Kelly right now, and I just want to give a huge shout out to Kelly. Not only is she giving direction on the field, but she's up in the bus, making sure that the driver knows the right direction, and then was in the booth yesterday helping us out. She has done an incredible job of coordinating and making sure that this whole tour went off without a hitch. Tony with a great big pull. Again, BUDA with a side stack. It looks like a little flood play. Oren looking off and then opening that space up for Nate. Nate has a deep look, tough. Oren unguarded right now, looking deep, great deep shot. Langston running it down. Do we see the shot? Oh, fantastic look, tough inside out. Huck by Orion. Sorry, I've been calling you Oren. Orion.
I think Orion is one of those players that Seattle is looking to limit. He has been competing with Slow White. He was with them last weekend in Colorado, actually got first team all PEC at that tournament at the adult club level, and now here we see him competing at the youth level tonight. Ooh.
Yes, multiple players on this field are having success in at the club level, and is pretty exciting and also kind of scary to think about the next couple of years. Seattle in a vert stack, looking to move it again. Tony shooting to the back corner. Atkins for the goal.
Love that turn the page cut from Atkins. He cut to the one side, got a pump fake. Let's see if we got it right here. We see Tony with the disc, pump faking multiple times, downfield. Atkins changes direction to the other side of the field, wide open in the end zone, and that's a break for Seattle.
That's a break for Seattle. And you were talking about that turn the page cut. So Atkins sets it up by looking like he's going to attack the front cone, and then from that pump fake from Tony, turns and actually goes back shoulder to the back corner, where Tony puts a really difficult throw, especially in this wind that's kind of swirly, right? You can't touch it too far, and if you throw it short, you have to throw over a vert stack. Right in the breadbasket of Atkins. Big shout out to Atkins also. Broke his collarbone about 2.5, I think 3 months ago. Wasn't sure he was going to be able to play right now, and did an incredible job of rehabbing, working really hard, and is really happy we're really happy to see him back on the field.
Definitely. Always exciting when you have a kid like that who perseveres through an injury and is able to make it back out for his teammates. We're seeing Seattle on defense again. What do you think we're going to see coming from Seattle?
You know, I think even though that they got the turn, BUDA got everything that they wanted. If I was Kelly and Dylan and Henry right now, I'd be a little frustrated about just the intensity of what it takes to play shutdown defense. Yes, you got the turn, congratulations, but they overthrew an open person by someone who was unmarked, right? I'm going to probably go back to a person D, maybe with a straight up mark for a little bit to maybe slow down their deep game, but really force people to, hey, we have to work hard to get these Ds. We can't just wander around and hope that they'll give it back to us. BUDA again with their side stack. Again, Orion on that ISO. It looks like a big junky thing. Yes, we have a bracket a little bit to kind of slow down. Orion gets the disc. Again, unmarked for a little bit. Again, Nate's unmarked. Again, they're doing a lot of junky kind of looks right now. Classic Seattle trying to kind of screw up some pull plays, but now they're back into this matched up person. No more bracket. Orion trapped on the disc on the sideline. High count. Tough throw. Great to space. And taking off deep. Let's see if it goes. There it goes. 2 people. Orion has to get over 2 people, maybe 3 people. Big crowd. Nice D by Seattle. Also, multiple people coming in, making sure that catching a crowd is so much more difficult than catching over 1 person. It looks like there's a call on the throw. I'm not 100% sure what it was. It looks like a foul called on the throw, and I think they're discussing whether it was on the release, on the follow through.
That disc did hang for a long time. You got to imagine that's not quite what the thrower wanted in this case. Obviously, you have the height of Orion to trust downfield, and you're going to be shooting to him, but that disc hung in the air for a good 5-8 seconds as we saw the people pile up.
Yeah, and I always talk about when you see that disc go up, as a defender, it's so easy to say, that's not my person. They're not throwing my person. But to have that effort to get multiple bodies underneath the disc, Orion, and actually even the person, multiple people were boxed out, and it was an easy D by just being underneath it.
Yeah, even though the disc comes back in this case, I think you've got to be happy as a Seattle coach to see that defensive effort.
Yeah. Disc in the middle of the field. Boston's still in their side stack. And it looks like you can tell another kind of poachy switch that was late. Tony trying to recover. Oh, unfortunate. Great read by Boston. They recognized that their person was kind of drifting in the lane and took off on them. It was a great communication switch, but I think they had the great read in the angle there. Short field turn. Let's see if Boston can get in their end zone. This team is really focusing on discipline in the end zone, not having to force too much, and knowing that they can dump swing all day until they get their open look. Upline strike. Great opportunity right here. Right on the end zone. Great spacing, too. I love that Boston has this spacing. You can see multiple open lanes and stack discipline. I know it's almost a very boring thing that a lot of coaches talk about, but this stack discipline, creating a space for your teammates, is so valuable, especially in the end zone, especially with a team that loves to poach and jump lanes. If your stack discipline is there, we have these wide open lanes that people can cut into. Ooh, Achilles with a big layout. Not there. Throw and go. Open side. Great switch by Isaac. And a great open side cut. Again, great discipline by BUDA.
Yeah, BUDA able to score after getting the disc back from Seattle following their turn. We're seeing it, take another look at the score right here. Orion with the disc in the middle of the field, looking downfield, staying patient. Oh, that bid from Achilles. You got to appreciate that effort for handler defense.
And what I really appreciate is Cole recognizing, yes, huge bid, but now my defender's on the ground. Catching, throwing, and immediately going up line. You could see Isaac trying to poach off and help and switch there to make sure that there's recovery, but not only was that a threat, but then you had back of the end zone coming and winning that front cone. That was great, great, patient, and then like a still aggressive end zone offense. A lot of times when you hear like, be patient, be patient, be patient, that doesn't mean you have to like just jog it out. These were sprinting and attacking cuts, but really disciplined and patient as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And now BUDA's got their first point on the board. Hopefully they're able to breathe a little bit more. They're coming down on defense against Seattle. We see both coaches talking to their team. Do you think we're going to see another side stack, another pull play out of the Seattle offense?
I have a feeling that Dylan is going to call a horizontal pull play. Dylan, I was talking to Dylan a little bit, and they have a couple pull plays, but I know that they really also like to use their horizontal and just kind of let their players run a little bit. We'll see. It is still early, and I think a pull play would be really helpful, but I have a feeling that it's just going to be horizontal right now. Oh, actually a vert stack. Center to soft. Lefty centering is really fun. Gabe Nobis going straight up line, looking deep. Soren has it. Good patience. Kai with the disc, back to Soren. Shot to Nobis. Might get there. Oh, easy bread basket.
Seattle excited about that quick, clean hold.
Oh, I'm sorry, that was Martin. Martin, quick speed. I apologize.
We see Seattle with the disc right here, and I believe we find Soren. Does an excellent job. Oh, you gotta love that timing from the deep cut. We saw Martin take off right as Soren is about to take it. Soren's able to catch, turn, throw, and immediately hit Martin with a beautiful outside in forehand in the end zone. Oh, and that smile from Martin is so contagious, pumping up all his teammates, getting them excited to be out here and compete.
Yeah. And, we saw a similar play that Seattle ran where handler catches it, centers it, and goes. Seattle girls last time went deep, and this one was just a strike up line. That kind of give-go movement is a really fun way to get your offense going, get yourself into a power position, but also can attack deep. I think that was a pull play call, so great call, Abby. And also what I'm finding when we're talking about this, like, oh, do we think they're going to go side? Do we think they're going to go horizontal? Do we think they're going to go vert with a pull play? Are they flooding in this? I think about just how much offense and the ultimate IQ that we see at this this youth level is incredible. When I was playing youth, it wasn't like, oh, I wonder if they're going to do this. We knew one offense. We didn't know any pull plays. It was like, we're going to run horizontal, and we're going to do the same thing that we've done the whole tournament or the whole game. But this, when players know not only their playbook is so large, but are they running a vert stack with no handlers back? Are they running a horizontal? Are they running a side stack? Are they flooding? It is incredible the knowledge that these youth players are growing up with.
And I think that goes to show, especially in this game, the youth programs that are in Seattle, the youth programs that are in Boston, and these teams are meeting at this U20 level after having started playing in elementary school, in middle school, all of that. And we see it all that knowledge combining on the field today.
So here we get a side stack again. Orion with the disc. And I like that BUDA is going side stack and then flooding kind of into a horizontal, but still creating a lot of space. Orion with the disc looking for Zach deep. Zach finding, has a space, got to get up. Oh, great grab. Beautiful throw by Orion. Incredible space by BUDA. This whole point they were cutting, creating a lot of space under, but then also creating a lot of deep space deep. Cole throwing to Orion. And then this deep cut comes from opposite third. Orion gets a chance to wind up his huge backhand. Great throw. And you know what I love about this throw too is you get to run onto it. Has the angle, easy read. Great way to go up and grab it. Great grab by Zach. I want to make sure that we thank one of our big sponsors, 5 Ultimate. 5 Ultimate is a premier provider of ultimate apparel and gear. As official partner of Team USA, currently competing at the Under-24 World Championship in Germany, 5 is committed to producing uniforms of the highest quality for Ultimate players by Ultimate players. Play hard, have fun, 5 Ultimate.
Great shot of the Seattle girls team, the Voyagers right there in their 5 Ultimate hoodies. Both teams looking fly out there today. And the U24 teams in Germany, I know there's been some controversy around the jerseys. Some people think they're a little too old school, but I think they look pretty fresh at the U24 championships, which if you're not following, please follow along. Both teams are in semis tomorrow.
Absolutely. This has been an incredibly clean game too. Fast pace, 3-2-1 break, but 1 turnover on a great deep shot look. This is gonna be tough. We got to find the first team that kind of causes an error, really kind of forces an error. These two teams are too strong to be, and the wind has died down just enough where we need to go find a D. No team's gonna just give it to you right now. BUDA with the pull, coming down. Both times it's been a side stack and a vert stack for Seattle. Let's see what they do. It looks like they're going to a horizontal classic. I was going to say, okay, they've already checked off side stack. They have already checked off vert stack. Okay, point 4. Let's see if you slip in that horizontal. I always find it as a defense, it's tough when teams switch what kind of cutting pattern they do or what kind of set they're in. You don't really get a sense of how they attack because each offense attacks in a different way.
Absolutely. I think sometimes you get into the mindset of guarding someone in the back of a vertical stack. You're ready for that cut, but all of a sudden you're in horizontal. Maybe they switch to vertical. Ooh, it did look like a nice cutting pattern from Seattle. Deep shot going up.
Ooh, high.
A contested throw in the air. What a great shot.
Fantastic grab. Kai going up the ladder. That man is already pretty tall. As you can see, it's a forced middle, so it's a forced, tough inside flick. And this is going to be the 5 Ultimate play of the game. Kai tracking, defender making an excellent bid, and oh, just going up and grabbing it. You know what's so interesting about that, too? It wasn't a height thing, too. It was going up and attacking the disc forward. You know, a lot of times when we think about getting the disc up in the air. We think about if you can jump at the highest point, but that was both players were there, and Kai not only was jumping, but then he moved his hand towards to attack the disc. We have a timeout on the field. We're going to take a quick break and join you back here in Boston.
Welcome back to this game. We've got Seattle Silly Saurs versus Boston BUDA Boys. We've seen a great game so far. Seattle is leading 4-2. That was a wonderful grab. We just saw our 5 ultimate play of the game during that last point. Now we're taking a timeout. Coaches are talking to both teams. What do you expect to hear if you're a player in this Boston huddle?
I mean, Boston has played an incredibly clean game, and I think if as a coach, I would say we have to ramp up the D. Like, we're right there, we're so close, and we have to trust that the D we're playing is really great. You know, everyone talks about, you know, we have to win our matchup, win our matchup, win our matchup. In the first couple points, you know, when legs are fresh, these things are working, but it's chipping away, and hoping at, you know, 5-6, 7-8, 14-14. That's when you get those D. That's when this legs and just discipline on defense really pays off. You know, trust the system, trust your teammates that they're also doing their job, those marks, those throws, right? We'll get there. Trust your teammates is kind of they're playing great. This is some fantastic ultimate that we're seeing out here.
Yeah, hopefully Boston can push Seattle to take not their first option, not their second option, but maybe their third, fourth, fifth option, and they start to get blocks when they're taking those options. We see the BUDA line out there. Orion back out on offense again. He's proved that he's not just a big body. He can go out there and throw deep if he wants to. He can cut under. He can be a reset. And we're going to see what Seattle can do to take Orion's abilities away from this BUDA team.
Right now, Seattle, the last couple points, has been bracketing their side stack to try to mitigate the under. But in that bracket, they've also given up some really, like, unmarked throws under for multiple seconds. And these deep cut players from BUDA can clearly attack deep and throw it with their throws as well. I'm going to look actually for this point, maybe not a bracket. Let's see if we can put pressure, and if they beat us with a deep throw once, the first deep throw, maybe shake their hand. Give them a different look. Maybe their throwers themselves are thinking there's probably a bracket, So if that small window when you need to throw, they second guess themselves thinking that there might be a bracket they don't see, that might be all it takes. It looks like Seattle is going to be like this level transition for 3 throws and going into forehand. So it is going to be kind of a junk for 3 throws to try to get them out of that transition or pull play. So again, side stack. It looks like Nate's on that. There's the bracket that we see. Orion coming in, looking again. Seattle is now probably matched up. Good junk transition. Really difficult. Jack coming in with a D. On the far side. Forces forehand. End zone. Let's see the discipline from Seattle if they can really work it in. Ooh, big bid by Cole. Isaac with a disc back to the middle. Dump swinging. Ooh, great mark. Tough to get that around break. Kai still knocking. There it is. Dylan with the goal and a great footwork on the end zone line as well.
Seattle showing off some excellent discipline in that end zone to be able to score. They've swung it multiple times across the disc. We've seen June there with it, looking downfield, looks for these inside shots, happy to take the swing around. One thing that makes this end zone so clean is that the Seattle offense is holding in the stack, right? After they make their cut, if they don't get it, they're clearing to the middle of the stack. They're leaving those edges of the field open so that when Seattle is able to get those swing opportunities off, they're wide open for the cone cut. And I got to shout out Jack Brown on the field that point. He was able to get that heads up D due to pressure that all of his teammates were applying, but playing heads up, gets the D, able to dish it, and then he cleared all the way on the sideline to get into that stack, and that's something that isn't recognized very often, but goes a long ways. Instead of running through the middle of the play trying to hustle as fast as he can to get to the stack, he takes a second, goes out wide, stays out of the play, and then filters back in when it's his turn.
Jack Brown, also one of the young players on the Seattle Cascades, right there in the orange. I was lucky enough to coach him one year, and that kid is fast. He has like springs in his legs and can just go. And you know what's really interesting too? Not only that he is athletic, but now the discipline aspect. I think Jack 2 years ago would have got that thrown and just gone blow by open side, and you're saying, "Give me the ball, give me the ball." But now, I think from fantastic coaching by like Dylan, Kelly, and Henry, rocking those fantastic spike ball T-shirts too. I'm gonna see if Kelly, can you get me one of those? Those look amazing and quite comfortable. But really disciplined and focusing on taking and creating space for your teammates. Great job by the coaching staff for Seattle.
What do you think Dylan was thinking about right there? He kind of had some funny expressions going on with his face.
You know, I'm not really going to guess what Dylan thinks about on the sideline. Camera shot. You know, he doesn't really like to be in the limelight, that Dylan.
Yeah, he's a quiet guy. Not very many know that guy, Dylan Freechild.
So again, side stack. It looks like Seattle is going with a forced forehand. Again with that bracket. Two are leaking deep to see if they can open up space under. Zach coming in with that great pull play call, or just recognition. Orion with a disc. Seattle has settled back into their person D. Great break around. Back in the middle. Let's see if their spacing right now can settle in. It looks like BUDA is going back into a vert stack. Settled in. Great. Wow. Great throw across field to really change the direction. Seattle putting a lot of pressure D. High stall count. Look, a break around. Great break around. BUDA, patient offense. Really not trying to force anything. Using their legs in that kind of change of field position. Changing the angle of attack to really get them open. These long swings are just so frustrating as a D. Big shot. Orion over the pile. Bang. Big 2-7.
Orion going up and over 4 players on the field. I do got to say, I love that Jack Brown-Orion matchup. We saw Jack limit Orion to those touches around the disc, and then once Orion dumps it, he's happy to take off. BUDA happy to shoot to him in the end zone. They've got multiple options there. We see all players going up to the disc. Orion fighting for that positioning and going up and over multiple players in the end zone. An excellent play excellent play by Orion. Excellent offense by BUDA.
And we talk about that kind of setup to the play. Orion had the disc on the far side, swung it all the way to Cole on the opposite side, and took off deep, which not only do you change the angle of attack, you get to start shallow, and you get to cut deep from the opposite side, the opposite third, which is really huge. And yes, Orion makes an excellent play, but all that setup to get him into that position, to make sure that Cole's like, yeah, I want to take that shot, is really fun. And you know what? I think throwing to Orion deep is a pretty good strategy.
I think so too. I think that obviously when you've got an athlete like that, it's always a great time to shoot to him. Hopefully next time they're able to coordinate with whoever is in the back of the stack. Last time we saw another person cutting deep at the same time as Orion, which is awesome. But if you see him making that cut from the handler space, being able to hold, wait, does he get it? Will I fill under for him? Will I fill deep if he comes under? Being able to hold and be a little bit patient, a little more heads up will make that offense a little more clean.
Spoken like a great cutter. I think as a handler, I'm like, yeah, big guy, I'll throw deep. And you're like, these are the things. Abby Abramovich, a fantastic cutter on Seattle Riot, crushing and seeing those little things about holding space, creating space. You're making so many different reads as a cutter. And it's, yes, about cutting into big space, but how can you as a cutter create space for your teammates? There we see the pull. Seattle looking like they're going into horizontal. Vert stack. Something kind of
a clump, though.
Kind of a clump.
Field.
Oh, Will Turner taking off from the handler space again. Tony shooting. Looks too far. Will, can he make a play? Oh, a little too far. Again, this is really interesting. Both times we're seeing these deep looks from a handler spot, right? Orion, Will right there taking off from that handler slot, taking off deep. It's, I think, a really interesting wrinkle that we've seen come up in the last kind of 5 years of Ultimate, where they're really trying to make these handlers dangerous and use this big space. Again, we see this poachy defense by Seattle. Oh, good movement by BUDA to open up a free space deep. Parker leaking deep there. Seattle a little scrambly right now. It's enough chaos where it doesn't look great for the offense, but now it seems like BUDA has hit their stride. Big jumps for Seattle. Great up line cut. Seattle still kind of in this junky look, causing a lot of chaos. But again, BUDA going to their bread and butter, saying, look, we're going to dump swing, we're going to use our legs, we're going to find those up line strikes, we're not going to force anything. This is where the clash of styles, I just love seeing that. The discipline in trying to cause chaos on defense and the discipline on offense. Scuba, great grab by Zach, looking to the front cone. Jack Rice, great timing. Meeting that cone, pumping up his teammates. That's the break back for BUDA.
I want another look at that dump reset. It seemed late in the stall count, maybe stall 8, stall 9 reset, and then able to catch that, keep the composure to turn, look upfield, throw right away. Just like a fantastic offensive possession from BUDA. As we saw, the Seattle defense was bracketing, right? They were scrambled, as you were saying. They were kind of all over the place. BUDA able to find open people. Once Seattle matched up on person, they were able to get into their end zone. Yeah, maybe they were a little scrappy in a couple of the throws that they chose right there, but able to find someone on a nice open end zone cut in the end zone. Great job, BUDA.
And also Jack trusting his teammate Zach, catching the scuba and that he was going to be ready to throw. That timing burst cut, he didn't second guess him at all. Zach caught it, turned, looked up, and then Jack was blowing up. There we got Seattle girls Voyagers rocking those wonderful 206 sun hoodies from 5 Ultimate. Also Gabby showing off all of our sponsors. Thank you, sponsors. Thank you, parents. The parents are also in the stands helping out. I see you, parents. Thank you for all the support, not only on the stream, but we got a great crowd coming out here for the stadium.
It's interesting. You were talking about that deep shot from the handler space. I think that Seattle has done an excellent job stopping those deep looks with their brackets. However, I would love to see after the bracket is gone, once you're matched up in person, are any of the cutter defenders heads up enough to see that handler streaking deep to drop off their cutter, say, hey, I got you, man, don't worry, and then see a clean switch. See a clean switch and able to prevent that deep shot even when there's no bracket in place.
And there we go, Dylan again, pondering life, thinking about the next steps. So here we go, Seattle back on offense. Big pull, big pull. Gabe Noba's catching the pull, centering to Tony. Again, sagging in the lane a little bit right now. It looks like a straight up mark. A little, maybe a backhand with a little straight up backhand. Seattle flooding into a vert stack, fun. It was a horizontal play, flood into a vert stack. Seattle's doing this no handler back vert stack too for the most part. In the center, I think they're gonna have a handler back. But on the sideline, they're really pushing their handler upfield to not lose as many yards. Great layout D, and immediately streaking deep. Great play. Wyatt. A tough matchup of Tony, a quick, wily, great thrower, but doing an excellent job, taking the angle, not biting too hard on the upline, and getting a huge layout D. Picking up a disc, throwing deep. Oh, right there. Oh, Ryan. Big time break, 2 breaks. Great job. Not only great composure by Wyatt to get that layout D, but then to take a breath, set, and then throw deep. Fantastic job. There we have all of the wonderful supporters who came out to watch this game. Thank you so much. We can feel the fans getting back into it. Hopefully they're going to stay for the U20 girls game right after this, and hopefully all you on the stream will also stay, listen to Abby and I chat it up a little bit.
Hopefully. Oh man, I'm so impressed with Orion taking control after that beautiful layout D that we saw, taking the initiative upon himself of saying, you know what, I want the ball right now, right? Not waiting for anyone else to cut, looking around, making sure that he's not cutting anyone off, but taking that initiative to put himself in the end zone, and then a beautiful throw from Wyatt.
And again, this is the moment where like we've kind of settled into like our mid game, right? now Seattle is like, okay, we have our game plan. We've tried to implement our game plan, and now Buda's kind of like countering their game plan a little bit here, right? It seems like Buda's recognizing, okay, they like to poach. They're making their cuts a little longer, creating those open spaces kind of behind the poaches a little bit. Seattle then now 2 breaks. How do you respond? It kind of is this disheartening moment. Yes, it's tied 5-5, but it definitely feels like the momentum has shifted to Buda.
Definitely. And I would love to see a clean offensive hold from Seattle. There's going to be a lot of pressure from this Buda defense, but it's a question of, can Seattle stick to their game plan, but also be okay when Buda takes that away? Can they hit these options like A, B, C, D, whatever it is? Can they stay composed with this Buda defense ramping up to have a nice, clean, chilly offensive hold? It may be exciting, but it also like is the game that you want to play.
I think I love that. Remembering it's the game you want to play. Don't freak out. Don't do anything different. Trust your teammates and play your game. I think both Buda and Seattle, you can really tell, even though they have opposite styles, are trusting themselves. Vert stack looks like a zipper play. Jack coming in on the side. Will Turner popping on the opposite side. Great timing by Soren coming from the back of the stack. No cuts there. Darby looking deep. Oh, another. Ooh, close play. Great movement by Seattle. Backhand force by Buda. Looking to see if they can stop him right here. Great break off the line by Nobis. Good mark. Good inside break. See if that opens up any deep shots or any looks. Jack again going down the break side here. Inside shot. Tough window. Nice throw. Great cut by Soren.
That is a nice IO backhand. I know it took me a while to say something because my jaw was on the floor from this IO backhand. Oh my gosh, Jack Brown showing what he can do with the disc in his hands. Looking upfield, looking for whoever is open. We've got a big mark on him. No fake beforehand, just a huge pivot out. IO hitting his target in the chest in the end zone. Beautiful play from Seattle's offense right there.
Yeah, and I think we're going to keep talking about it, but I'm so impressed by both these teams going sideline to sideline. You know, 3 passes ago, Seattle was trapped on their open sideline. They moved to the far sideline, and that just makes it so much easier. Like when you're defending someone, when the disc is on the break side, it's just so hard to put yourself in the right position, especially when you know this team can attack from the far sideline. And giving up that break side cut feels really tough and really hard, but at the same time, moving sideline to sideline is so important, and both teams are putting on a clinic in the end zone.
Absolutely. Hopefully we'll continue to see all of that for the rest of this game. Really quickly, I want to give a big shout out to Disc Northwest. They are the title sponsor of this tour. Some of Disc Northwest's core values are promoting equity, accessibility, fairness, competitive play, and spirit of the game. You can consider supporting these core values by donating to the Youth Development Fund. You can find that on the link of the Disc Northwest Facebook page. And we also want to give a huge shout out to the Got Your Back teams. That includes Seattle Mixtape, Bird Fruit, Sockeye, BFG, Riot, Garbage, Sizzle, Bullet Train, Ghost Train, Lights Out, Kingdom, I believe, Che, the Seattle Chicago Bulls, fantastic summer league team, the Kala Kala, I think I mispronounced that last time. So many wonderful Seattle teams showing that they've got these kids back. Kalakala, next time I got you. You got our back, I'll get yours next time.
Again, Orion shooting deep, 2 people on, Jack closing, but cannot get there. Vert stack, first time Buda going vert stack with a great under and opening up that deep space. Orion is just packing the stack right now.
Oh my gosh.
Big time shot. Great throw to space too. I mean, big, fast. I mean, yes, he can go up and get it, but you have 2 Seattle players trailing, and it's still in stride. Jack doesn't even get a chance with incredible speed to even get to make a play. I think right now the Seattle coaching team needs to kind of sit and put their heads together and say, okay, we are not, whatever we're doing is not working against Orion. Maybe we'll work against 99% of the players here in the youth division. It's not working against Orion. We have to figure out something else. When you have a player big, fast, can throw, What do you do, Abby?
I think the question isn't how do you take Orion out of this game, it's how do you limit him, right? So like I know that we can't stop him from doing every single thing because he's this well-rounded player. We've seen him throwing the disc, we've seen him catching it, we've seen him being the reset. But what is the least dangerous thing we can make him do? What are the most dangerous things, and how do we take that away? Maybe it's someone staying deep a little bit longer, right? Always having someone behind him. Maybe it's switching, maybe it's bracketing, maybe it's a forced middle, maybe it's all these different things. It's the key matchups. But I believe this coaching staff of Henry Fan, Dylan Freechild, and Kelly Johnson will be able to come up with something, hopefully something, to make Orion's life a little more difficult out there on the field.
And BUDA right now really settling into their offense and also settling in their D, right? Really quick offensive score, gets their D line back out there, who just put up kind of 2 breaks. I know they're really excited to get out there and continue to put that pressure, right? We talked about earlier this game, right? Putting that pressure on, fighting for every inch, making Seattle and like feel that pressure just so they might make a little mistakes. Side stack looks like a flood play again.
He's got separation downfield. Oh, turns and comes under.
Again, forced backhand from BUDA. Nobis with the disc. Looking end zone. Tony on the doorstep. Gives a little bump. Nobis fighting. Wow! What a push pass blade to a pretty well defended Gabe Nobis. A little odd right there.
Interesting choice. Kids are coming up with some funny throws these days.
I blame Goldie. But great defense by BUDA. Nobis looking for that bid. Not there. Winding. Forces forehand. Looks like Seattle is just straight up into person right now. No poaches along the way. BUDA in a vert stack. Zach has the disc. Looking deep, potentially. Tony kind of floating in that space. It kind of looks like that they're letting Tony kind of free range roam while other players are pretty tight, and Tony kind of gambling on the spots that he feels like he can gamble on. Shot deep. Tony can jog it down, gaining yards. Nobis for the goal. Oh.
That was an incredible throw to Tony. Same third forehand over the top of him a little bit, but with just enough speed and that separation. Here we get another look at it. That Tony is able to box his person out, keep him behind him, and just jog onto it. He's immediately going to look upfield and hit this open throw for the score to Nobis.
Yeah, and that must feel good. I mean, it's always frustrating when you throw. I'm sure Tony wants that kind of push pass blade back a little bit. So not only to get the disc back, then to take off deep and then throw the goal from just a backhand standpoint, it must feel really good. Going 7-6, we're knocking on halftime right now, and I think this is a moment where you're like, ooh, how can we steal a break at halftime? And also, BUDA is thinking, okay, how can we continue to just assert ourselves on offense? Going into halftime, we're 1 or 2 points away from halftime. It's really fun. Like, what are you going to be thinking about at halftime? These points I always find really valuable and really important, and can turn a game a lot of times going into half.
Yeah, and I think BUDA was able to get a turn there, and I have to be a little bit frustrated that they weren't able to convert that possession. It's excellent that they're getting that D, and excellent that they're forcing Seattle to do new things to throw into these tight windows, but you want to convert that that offensive possession so badly. So let's see if they can have a clean hold out here with this offense, force it to go 7-7 before halftime.
And don't quote me on this, but I think that was the first unconverted D, where both teams, when they've gotten the opportunity, has converted on a break. I think that was the first time that was an unconverted. I could be wrong. Twitter, tweet at me, but you can't find my Twitter because I don't have one. Jack Brown on the pull. BUDA in a vert stack. Orion in the back. Zach coming under. Again, Poachy bracket from Seattle, trying to slow down that deep space. Upline cut, oh, a little too far. Seattle, a great opportunity to break for half. BUDA forcing forehand, trying to get great break. It's a really like straight up mark, actually. I'm not sure if it's backhand. Oh, shooting to the goal, and that's a big time break for half. Seattle capitalizing on just a little errant upline throw, short field, and being able to work it around. Isaac here attacking the inside, attacking that inside flick, and then throwing a round backhand right here, really squaring up with a quick shimmy. That quick, no pivot backhand, Adkins catching, throwing right away in stride. I think the little details too, that Adkins didn't have to slow up, he could catch in stride, step around, and continue to throw that break. Really fantastic. 8-6, breaking into half. Seattle boys up on BUDA. We're going to take a quick break. Thank you. Make sure you join us back after half.
Every time we touch the license, we play better. Let's go take down the champ.
An Ultiworld subscription gets you closer to the players and personalities you care about with game video, in-depth written and video analysis,
He's going to take off deep, but what he does is very simple.
documentary shorts,
And we've played Brute Squad before, and it just feels a little bit harder to lose this year.
and a whole lot more. To get your subscription or learn more, go to ultiworld.com/subscribe.
I promise that I will love you forever and always.
Jinx, and he's in.
Welcome back to halftime of Game 2 of this 206 tour. Thank you for tuning in. We want to give a quick shout out to Cut Camp, one of our main sponsors of this tour. Cut Camp is an overnight summer camp for high school players looking to develop their ultimate skills in a fun and competitive setting. Cut is the perfect place to find lifelong friends from across the country and improve your ultimate skills together. Come learn more from the best players and coaches in the game. If you love Ultimate, you can find out more at competitiveultimatetraining.com. Cut Camp. Go there. We're going to take a quick look at the Cut Camp commercial.
My name is Arnush Javaharian, otherwise known as Java, and I am the founder and executive director of Cut Camp.
My name is Jaden. I'm from Toronto, and I'm 18 years old. I came to Cut Camp because it's a great opportunity to get better at the sport I love the most, which is Ultimate Frisbee.
You can't find anything as unique as what you have at Cut Camp. It's an experience, honestly, you won't get anywhere else. With the coaches and the people that come here, everyone wants to be here. It's just an environment that is just so amazing to be around.
I think what made me want to become a coach most was probably Java's enthusiasm. I also really wanted the opportunity to hang out with some of the most knowledgeable players in the country.
We bring in coaches from all over the nation. And I'm talking about the best players, top-notch club players that are playing the game at the highest levels, such as Goose and Jesse Schaffner and Claire Chastain, Opie Payne, Khalifa El Salam. I could go on and on down the list of these amazing coaches that have given up their time to come here and to really give back to the youth ultimate world and to help grow it and make it amazing.
I came to Cut Camp because I am very passionate about Frisbee. I want to do it for a very long time, and the people that I know who have gone through the program said it was really good, and I thought that it would be a great opportunity for me to learn from these pro athletes that I've been looking up to for so long, and to just take advantage of the opportunity and just, I don't know, learn.
My name is Chrissy Lind Hunter. I'm Filipino-British, but I grew up in Hong Kong. I played for the GB mixed team, but I now currently live in Malaysia. Over the last few years, I've been playing with GB mixed. I now play for Black Widows. We're going to the US Open for the first time. We are first multi-Asian country women's team to go to the US Open. I actually enjoy that the coaches get a chance to see what the kids want to do and see what their strengths are, as well as what the coaches have, skills they can bring, and make an experience for these kids that's really personal and tailored to them.
Well, Cut Camp is growing at an immense rate. Just 4 years ago, we only had Chicago. Now we are in North Carolina, Portland, Oregon, Portland, Maine, and Toronto, Ontario.
Welcome back to Game 2 of the 206 Tour. It is currently halftime, where we're watching the Seattle boys play against the Boston boys, and I am currently joined in the booth with John Rice, who is the U17 boys coach for BUDA. John, welcome to the booth.
Thank you. Thank you for having me here, and thanks even more for bringing this great crew out to Boston to play our boys and girls.
Absolutely. Thanks for having us. We are so excited. I know all the kids are super excited about the Freedom Tour that we went on today, learning more about Boston and getting to meet everybody and just having a great time. Could you tell us a little bit more about BUDA and your experience with this program?
Yeah, sure. So BUDA's been around since '92, and it's come a long way since then. I think we have players at all levels, from U10 all the way up to great grandmasters. We have leagues for all sorts of ages and experience levels. The YCC program that we have, I coach U17, as you mentioned, and then I've got a child in U20 and on U17 boys. We do a lot of outreach too. A lot of these kids on the U20 team in particular, we encourage them to go back and help coach their middle schools as part of BUDA programs, or elementary, or do clinics at elementary schools. And it's kind of become a self-regenerating thing where the older, more experienced BUDA kids help bring up the next generation. It's a lot of fun.
Awesome. Yeah, it's great to have such an incredible program like that starting so long ago and having to host people from U10 to Grandmasters. So cool for everyone to have a spot in your program. What are your thoughts on this game so far? What do you think of the first half?
Well, you know, obviously I'm a little biased, and I was a little nervous at the beginning when the Seattle boys got a couple breaks on us. I think it's the first game for both these teams, kind of. I mean, a lot of the Boston kids have played together in prior summers or at high school level. And I think both teams seem to be kind of working some kinks out. But it's good to see BUDA get it back on serve, except for at the very end there. And make a pretty exciting game out of it.
Definitely. As the U17 coach, are there any players that you're really excited about that you've seen out there today who maybe you've coached in the past, or that you've seen go through this BUDA program that are out there playing today?
Yeah, there's a whole bunch. I feel like I've coached like 75% of these kids at some point or another. And it's just awesome to see how, you know, some of them, I mean, my own child since he was like 6 or 7, but you know, then some of them just since they were like freshmen or 8th graders or whatever, and just the way they've matured and just generally the great spirit that they have, along with their athleticism and playmaking abilities. It's just a delight to watch. I mean, my son Jack is really excited to have made the team, is very competitive, and he's been out there starting on D a lot. And then, a couple standout players, Orion Cable from Amherst, who you've seen catch a couple hucks, and then Michael Schreiber, number 55. He's one of our Newton North guys, and this is his first year in YCCs, but he has been coaching. Ooh, Luca Harwood just getting D'd there. He's done a lot of coaching of younger kids and is just a fantastic player in his own right as well.
Awesome. It's great to hear about all those players. We just saw a huge D from Jack Brown on Seattle. Seattle's now with the disc trying to work their way back into the end zone. John, thank you so much for joining us for this game. Oh, we see another turn from Seattle. Can BUDA punch this one in? John, last thing, do you have any great stories about Jack while we have his father up here in the booth?
Oh, there we go. That's Orion Cable with the goal right there. I guess it's a great story for me, but when the boys were 6 or 7, we used to go out to a family pickup game, which is where a lot of these kids have started at a very young age. And I used to, just for a joke or whatever, I'd say, "What happens when Daddy gets the disc?" And Jack and his brother would be like, "We go deep." So I got a lot of chuckles from that.
Well, it seems like he's still doing that on the field out there today.
He certainly is.
John, thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you next game while we're watching the girls, and you'll rejoin us again at halftime.
Can't wait. Thanks, Abby.
Of course. All right. We saw an exciting point. Jack Brown getting that huge D for Seattle, but Seattle not able to convert on offense. BUDA getting it back near the end zone, able to have a clean offensive hold in the end zone once they get the disc back. And an excellent point all around, making it known that this will be an exciting game in the second half of this game.
And big shout out to Cole. I know we've talked a lot about Orion, but we've noticed who is on that throwing end. Yes, Orion's catching the goal, but Cole has done such a great job of, I'm just double checking that it is Cole. Yeah, it's Cole. Doing a great job behind the disc, not only throwing great hucks, but the composure, making the breaks, and really leading this team with his throws and just the attitude. You can tell when he has a disc, the field opens up, his teammates are incredibly confident. He's doing a fantastic job managing the game with his throws. The wind has picked up a little bit this half. It will be interesting. I'm not sure if it's enough to make this a kind of upwind, downwind game yet, but it will be interesting to pay attention to where breaks might come in too. So this is a big D point for BUDA to see if they get. We have a split stack. Fun with a junk zone. Oh, the second half adjustments are so much fun to watch. BUDA coming in with a junk with Seattle doing a split stack. What? Oh, here we got a traditional cup. I apologize. It looks like BUDA chasing a little bit. Great inside break and great D by BUDA. That zone throwing just enough of a different look. BUDA going into their vert stack. Forces forehand. Swing to the far side. Great break throw, continue. Looking for that back cone, nope. Great dump, great patience again. BUDA, traditional, just patience, dump, swinging, goal time. Absolutely, looking at that sideline to sideline, discipline, knowing that they can dump swing, that is a huge break. That shot to that break side corner, they had a cut to the end zone, not there. Great pump fake, willingness to say, no, we're gonna trust our system, to that dump. And not only do this dump swing, but this is a fast dump swing all the way to the other side and then race me to the cone. We got this. Jaden with a great timing cut. Great overall team defense to team offense, end zone, dump swinging, using your legs, trusting in your teammates. That's a break on the board.
Definitely. BUDA able to get that break back, tie this game up at 8. We saw them get broken right before half, and here they respond. We saw that zone come down, able to stop Seattle's pull play, able to get a turnover pretty early. Seattle was moving it pretty quickly and then just looked for a little too tight of a window. I love that quick movement, but a little too tight of a window, and BUDA able to make a play, get that D for Seattle.
And I love that just coaching look, too. You've been going person the whole game, and then you throw a cup right out of half. Gets Seattle kind of on their heels, not really sure. The looks change, that kind of run through D where all of a sudden Seattle is kind of sitting in lanes instead of running 2 discs. A really great adjustment. Way to get a break out of half. That's a huge momentum builder, especially as these fans kind of are here filling up the stadium. Really just gets the fans back in this game. Such an exciting, you can see the U20 BUDA girls cheering on, waiting for their chance after this game. Make sure you stay tuned. But the fans right here, making sure that not only Youth Ultimate in Boston, but just Youth Ultimate in general gets supported. So the zone just worked. Abby, I want you to put your coaching hat on. Do you throw it again?
No, I think you mix it up. I think you go person. I think you get in their heads a little bit. Either way, I think this offense from Seattle is going to be feeling a little antsy. You just had a quick turnover on offense. Now you come out again on offense. First time you saw zone from BUDA. What's it going to be? We're not sure yet, but I think you go person.
Yep. And Abby, I think the BUDA coaches agree with you. We got side stack. Looks like a person. It looks like a backhand mark, forcing him back into the sideline. Great break by Tony. Seattle flooding back into, looks like a vert stack. Again, great pressure by BUDA. Really digging in. Tough throw again. We saw that Wyatt lay out D that earlier this game, just enough where he didn't make that decision. Big shot deep. Running it down. Easy bread basket grab by Cam.
Cam has had multiple deep shots, or excuse me, multiple deep cuts where he hasn't been hit that I've thought have been really well timed, and I'm super happy to see him hit on this deep shot for Seattle. Taking another look at it. Martin with this big backhand. Cam running it down. Jack there to help him out, and we see Cam's easily able to pancake it in the back of the end zone. Beautiful, beautiful put from Martin for Seattle. Oh, and a nice little celebration.
With the framed goal back there, too. Just was like, oh, with the head spike to the cross kick goal.
And good soccer moves down there.
Good soccer moves. Shout out to the USA women soccer's team. Where's Rapino? I've been doing that celebration, just the Rapino celebration, like get out of bed in the morning, Rapino it. Make some coffee, Rapino it. It was so much fun to watch the World Cup.
I heard Rapino is actually coming to this next game to watch. She's going to be our guest commentator at halftime, so make sure you stay tuned in for that Seattle girls team and and BUDA girls team that we have coming right up after this game.
Very exciting. Butterflies. So, again, 2-9-8. This game looks like it's going to be tooth and nail all the way to the end. Seattle's been throwing junk. BUDA's been really attacking in deep space and then also showing incredible patience. Defensively, I think it's like, how do we slow down Cole, his throws, and how do you stop Orion? Not only in the deep space, but just he's been taking over the whole field. Seattle, I think their junk look has been working the most. I'll be interested to see if they stick with it a little longer. They've been transitioning out of it in 3 passes or so. I want to know if they stick with it for like 5 or 6 now. So again, junk look, BUDA's in their vert stack. That's the second throw. This is their third throw. This is where Seattle's traditionally been out of it. But it looks like right now, yes, they're still out of it right now. And this is where BUDA has really started to gain yards. Their junk look has stifled them, but now that Seattle's back into person, BUDA's going in their dump swing patient offense and really looking to attack. Again, Cole with the disc, so dangerous, looking for his favorite receiver, O. Pick was called.
We've seen the Seattle defense continuing to back Orion. So I believe that's where the pick happened. Trying to take away his deep pressure and trying to make him maybe catch some under pressures. There you see maybe a little bit help off of Orion. And then they tighten back up knowing that he is a big threat who they're looking for.
Again, BUDA back into their end zone offense, though. Just dump, swinging, striking up line, going sideline to sideline. Beautiful, beautiful end zone defense. That is incredibly pretty offense. The end zone, attacking, throw and goes, back to the inside. Cole striking. That dump swing around. back. There we see that throw open, go open. And what this does is not only does that open this up, but then when we hard bite on that upline cut, that inside window opens up and BUDA constantly attacking. Not only do they have one option, they have two options, and they're both threatening. You could see Soren really doing everything he could to stop that upline strike, and which opens up this kind of inside break, but it's an unmarked person for a great goal.
How do you think the Seattle coaches are feeling about that defensive point?
You know, I think Seattle is probably getting a little frustrated right now. It seems like, yes, they're doing a really good job of taking away option 1, but good teams have option 2, 3, and 4. And right now, yeah, you know, they're making BUDA dump swing, but BUDA's great at dump swinging. They're great at going sideline to sideline, and they're not stopping them. I haven't seen BUDA get to a stall 7 count very often. I think that point maybe one time with Cole, and like Cole is very comfortable from 7 to 10. I'm looking for Seattle D, and actually, you know, both teams Ds, let's get to stall 7, stall 8. If we can get that 3 times in a point, I think that's a great defensive stand. Right now, teams are just racing down the field. Yes, they're moving side to side a little bit, but it's too easy. It's too easy. And there's no trick in the book. It's really just you have to run really hard and you have to try really hard. It's not fun to hear, but that's it right now.
I know. I've been trying to find that trick in the book for 10 years now. I haven't found it yet.
Call for help. That's switches and help. Oh, here we go. BUDA with their zone. This is their 3-person cup. This is where they generated that D again. Let's see how Seattle responds. Great mark. This is a trap side. This is a scary moment. Ooh, got off the sideline. Ooh, Tony going right back there. Interesting. Let's see how much pressure they can put on. Really playing small ball right now. Let's keep track of how many high stall counts. Great cut by Nobis. There we go. It looks like they're going to break free right now. Back to Turner. Looking to the end zone. A little jump ball. Nate going to make the play. Oh! Cam, there we go. Big time play. Attacking the disc in open space. Nate, the deep, coming from that side. Looking to attack. That disc kind of thrown right in between. We can see Darby to Turner. After you break through the cup, it's so important to go. Turner just lost one up right in between. Nate coming there, Cam coming there. Oh, and it looks like Nate kind of like double hitched on that cut or that jump. I'm not really sure if it jumped up a little bit or Nate just had a little bit of a misread right there. But fantastic play by Cam.
It can be very difficult as that deep, knowing that you've really only got one shot to make a play, right? You're back there, you're containing everyone, you know where everyone is, then all of a sudden this is in the air, and you're asked to make that play, you're asked to get a D. When you go for the disc, you've got to know that you're going to get it 100%. And then it can also create these like dangerous situations where 2 players are running at each other, running towards each other at full speed. And I think Nate doing an excellent job of getting there. Obviously, he would have loved to have one more chance and get that disc on the first try. But overall, I think I really like that defensive pressure from BUDA.
Big shout out to the fans coming out to support. We really appreciate it. It's so much fun to play in front of a live crowd, but also just all the support, not only the parents for food, driving all these wonderful players to all the practices, and then coming out and showing out their support. Friends, family, it's great for the kids. I see some sisters and brothers running around. It is so much fun here in the stadium.
Absolutely. This stadium is incredible. I know yesterday we were indoors due to the lightning, so we are so happy to be outside and to be put up in this wonderful stadium hosted by BUDA. I know that Kelly Johnson is super excited about how this tour has been going so far, and this is only game 2. We're going to have, what, 6? How many more games? 7 more games coming your way.
Janice, you got to text Abby again. How many more games do we have?
I don't know. I'm losing track already.
And maybe what day it is. Yeah, so 10-9. And again, we knew this was going to be a nail-biter all the way through, but again, it's just going back and forth the whole time. BUDA in a vert stack. Seattle most likely coming junk. Looks again. There's that junk look. Let's see if they pop out of it later or earlier. Second throw, third throw. They're going to stay in it a little longer. This is fun. Fourth throw. Looks like they're out of it. Isaac battling for that up line. BUDA moving the disc. Again, BUDA just racing up the field. Oh, Aaron throw Cole making a big play. Great layout D, and then pops up with composure. Great break side. Looks like a call. Pick on the cut. Ooh, great extension to get that low throw too. And then not only that, pop up and attack the break side. Young man, that is a big time play. Vert stack. It looks like Seattle's now back to their person again with the break throw. BUDA racing up the field. Disciplined, attacking, not forcing anything. Hopefully I didn't jinx anything, but they are just happy to dump, swing, attack open side. First time, break side again by Cole. Oh, first time high count. This is an exciting moment. What's gonna happen? Cole's gotta get open. There's the D.
Stall 7, you called it, Casey.
And immediately shooting deep. Oh no. Oh, I love the quick attack, but it does feel so disheartening when you pick up and throw away after. You know these Ds are so precious and so difficult. The first time really Seattle gets to that stall 8 moment, really felt like a stall 9 moment, and they generated D, great team defense, but that throwaway. Seattle's in their junk now right now. Looks like they're bracketing. Oh, it's like a 3-1. Really trying to junk up the middle and the break side. Great break side throw. BUDA now, back in their vert. No handlers back. Looking deep. Michael, back to James. Back to the middle. Again, BUDA lulling them sleep. Cole, beautiful touch inside, flick to the corner of the goal. Oh, you make it look so easy.
I think both teams have got to be happy with this point. Like, obviously, Seattle wants to convert on that turnover, but they got the D the first time. They made BUDA use every single player on the field. We see Cole here with this beautiful throw into the end zone, that IO forehand, perfect touch on it to the receiver in the end zone. There's pressure on the receiver, but he's able to make a play, keep his body in front of the defender, and do an excellent job.
And Langston doing a fantastic job of bodying out Kai, the Seattle defender, right? Yes, he had the steps. Yes, he was doing everything possible to get there, but at the same time, Langston put his body, that's not Langston, that's Jonah, putting his body in front of Kai so he could not make a play.
Definitely. And BUDA is showing that they can do it without Orion on the field. They're able to use every single player, go from side to side, even after that turnover, show some resilience, be able to work it up all the way up the field, starting from their own end zone, and able to punch in a beautiful score.
And BUDA is definitely, yes, Orion has made a fantastic plays, but it definitely feels like BUDA loves this grind, like this under, just taking unders over and over, using their legs, going dump swing from sideline to sideline, and incredibly patient. Like, I think as I'm a type of defender that loves to gamble, poach a little, do all these different things, I get so frustrated when teams are just patient, won't take any risk, and are just willing to let you run around, flash lanes, and we'll dump swing, and we'll go break side, and if you, like, overcommit anywhere, we'll go opposite. And it's so disheartening. 10-10, game to 15, folks. We got ourselves. If you're not tuning in, you better be asking somebody. Get on Facebook, get on Twitter. We got ourselves a game to 5.
I think the BUDA coaches have to be so happy with this team. They were saying this is one of their youngest teams they've had so far. And as you were mentioning, they're disciplined. They're willing to grind it out, which is so impressive for a young team to do on the field. One of the early times that they're playing in the quick season. Oh, quick turnover from Seattle right there.
BUDA looking to capitalize. An uncharacteristic mistake by Asaf. Up line was open, bounced off a little bit of the fingertips. Short field now for BUDA. Looking to capitalize for the break. To go up. Is it there? Oh, I thought it was going to pop up. It got really scary. Asaf must feel great getting that D. Getting the disc back. Running to the cone. Seattle in a vert stack. Again, kind of having no backfield back. Opening up more space for the handler. Nobis getting that upline strike. Ooh, again. Low throw. Great heads up D by CJ. CJ has got a few fans up in London. Shout out to London across the pond tuning in on the stream. We really appreciate the support. Seattle again, locked into person. Forces forehand. It might actually be a forced middle. I'm not 100% sure. Let's see if they swing. Oh, timeout was called.
Ooh.
This is a great timeout call. Get some composure. Figure out what you're doing. 10-10. This is a big-time break. Make sure you stay tuned. We're going to take a quick break, toss it to one of our sponsors.
Welcome back to this game. We're at a timeout. It is 10-10, Seattle versus Boston. Boston is, what, 20 yards out of the goal? We're expecting to see them set up. Do you think they're going to be in their end zone, Casey, already?
No, I think they're probably just going to be in that vert stack. Still attacking. I mean, similar concepts from their end zone, that they're attacking those unders, looking to dump swing side to side. I wonder if Seattle goes like a crazy zone, though.
I hope they do. I would love to see that. I'm a sucker for zone defense, sucker for zone offense, and I would love to see that. I always think it gets you on your toes, right? You have this plan coming out of the timeout when you have the ball in your hands, and then all of a sudden you're looking around, you're like, no one, oh, they are in zone. They're taking away our first option and exactly what the coaches drew up for us. Let's see if it comes true.
So big point, 10-10. Clock ticking down, knowing that you don't have a lot of opportunities to go up this break right now. I think this is kind of a nerves moment. I know these are young, really mature players, but I still get this moment, right? Your hand's a little shaky, you're a little worried, you're a little more hesitant to take a deep look. It looks like the force is going to be backhand. I wonder what they do. Quick shot to the end zone. CJ. Big time grab, and that's a bookends for CJ. That's a huge point. Not only do you go up in this tight game, but a bookends by CJ. The people out in London, we got to be excited right now. I'm not sure what the time difference is. Only Janice knows. But look, far sideline, break throw to break throw, and this deep shot. And this is not an easy throw or grab in that back corner. Huge. Oh, look at that energy, CJ. You know you are pumped right now.
BUDA's got to be fired up. Able to come out there, call a timeout, execute right away on the end zone line, showing that they are not done with this game. We've got 15 minutes left until hard cap. No team is giving up here. We've got 11-10, BUDA leading. And
at this moment, we really want to thank one of our big sponsors, Aria Disc. The Disc Northwest Tour 206 Tour is sponsored by Aria Disc, precision crafted with high level of play in mind and supporting growth and accessibility with every disc sold. Aria believes in changing the world through Ultimate. For more information, please visit us at aria-disc.com. Thank you for supporting Disc Northwest Tier 206 Tour and Aria Disc.
And stay tuned till the end of the game to figure out who the Aria player of the game will be.
And I love this too. You know, we always don't really think about the Frisbee, and Aria really taking the time and saying, what is this plastic thing we're throwing in? How does it work? How can we make it better? Not only are we trying to improve the disc, but in trying to say, how can we use this company to also improve our community? Donating discs, matching discs to different organizations. They're really doing a fantastic job, not only creating a better disc, but also really focusing on trying to create a better community.
Definitely, and we see all the sponsors right there who are able to make this incredible tour possible. These kids must feel so lucky getting to travel up and down the East Coast, playing all these different teams, getting to go on all these tours, making new friends, as you do in Youth Ultimate. We're going to see these two players playing against each other in the club scene from years to now, maybe being teammates on U24 Worlds, maybe being World Games teammates years from now. I think it's really incredible to be showcasing this sport in the way that we are.
Absolutely. And I think I'm going back to what Jack Rice said before this game when we were just chatting with him about how he is all these best friends now. I think in these moments, trust and support are so important. 10-10, maybe you just got broken or maybe you need a break. No matter what, when you have your friends on the sideline saying, we got this, win or lose, those moments are so important. Trust in these moments are so important. It's easy to trust your friends when you're up 14-0. It's easy to say, yeah, let's trust the process. When it's 10-10, 10-11, having your best friends right now with you on the line, on the sideline, knowing they got your back is so important.
Absolutely. I think that both teams have shown the trust through this game, and I hope that they can continue to. We're going to have a nail-biter of a game coming at you. I'm excited to see what adjustment these coaches are going to make this late into the game. We're entering the fourth quarter of this game, and what are they going to do? What is Seattle going to do to make a clean hold, but then eventually hoping to get a break? What is BUDA going to do right now? They've just scored, they've taken the lead, and now what are they going to do to get another break on the board and take advantage in this game?
I know BUDA's gone zone the last two D points. I am feeling like they're going bread and butter, going into hard person, gritty person D. Seattle with a side stack. Ooh, junkie zone. Never mind. Here we go. Zone again. Great call by the BUDA coach to get them out of their pull play. Scuba over the top. Will looking to go. Toss to Jack. Jack, room on the sideline. Oh, great D by Jaden coming from the back.
Those throws are always so difficult when you're in front of everybody, everyone's running past you, you have an open player, you release the disc, and as soon as you release it, you realize that there's a poach coming through ready to get that D. So we've got BUDA with the disc looking to break, go up by 2 in this game.
And Jack backing Orion by a good 6 yards. Orion getting easy under, looking to get it off that sideline. Disc in the middle, high stall count. Scary moment for BUDA. Orion pulling out, looking for the shot, shooting to Nate. Nate has steps. Closing, Seattle player makes a great play. Way to go up. Jasper making a huge play, closing, taking a shot deep. Lots of traffic. Again, Nate. Oh, I'm sorry. Wes, maybe? I apologize, BUDA player. Did not catch your jersey number there, but makes a great grab. Seattle back on D.
We'll see if
BUDA shooting again. We have ourselves an all-out jump ball fest, and Orion coming down with the disc.
When you get into that jump ball fest, it's great to have a player like Orion who can come out with 90% of those discs. Here we get another look at this final shot into the end zone. We've got BUDA with the disc firing into the end zone. Jack Brown doing an excellent job on defense, right? He's got great positioning, goes up early, ready to grab that disc, but Orion just doing a slightly better job of getting to it. But I just want to shout out Jack Brown for that defensive effort. I know I've been in that situation so many times, and it takes a lot just to get into the picture, right? Could have been Orion on his own getting an easy pancake, but Jack is there making Orion have to make a big, hard play at the end of the game.
Absolutely. And I think when you go up, there's always a risk. When you say, I want the big matchup, there's always a risk that you get on a poster or that they make a play on you. But you got to kind of pick your head up and go back again, right? We play this sport, and if you play this sport long enough, you're going to find yourself on the end of a layout D or someone roofing you or you getting broken or just getting juked out. It happens. And having your teammates going back to what Jack Ray said, having your best friends on your team saying, you know what, we got you. That's not the big part, right? We have to do a better job on these moments and these moments. That's what I love about this sport and I love about this community. But that is a huge break.
That's a huge break to go up 12-10, 9.5 minutes left until hard cap. Seattle's got to answer back immediately on offense to get back in this game.
And there's something about Orion catching the disc under when there's a high stall count, grabbing the disc in the end zone when you needed it. That's a huge play. Those are things that kind of win the game. When I look back at this game, no matter how it goes, those were big moments.
Definitely, and we'll see what big moments we have coming up as we see the pull from BUDA coming down the field.
Seattle looks like they're going into their vert stack. BUDA not coming down zone. Looks like a backhand force. Looks like another zipper play by Seattle. Break throw to Turner. Turner looking deep. Good mark by James. Really getting that hand low to make that throw difficult. Throws back to Jasper. Good strike by Will up line. Again, looking deep. And again, great mark by James, really putting pressure on Turner.
That was a big-time grab in the middle of the field we saw right there before this call. I'm not sure if that was to him or to a deep shot, but he was able to get up and get a hand on that disc as it was moving fast, figuring out what the call is downfield, but it looks like disc is going to stay with Seattle.
So a couple of weird, it looks like another call. Looks like a pick was called in the middle of the field as players were getting back to the stack. I always find it odd when you have to like reset. There's always a couple times where there's like a violation call and just trying to get back into the flow of things. Again, Seattle with their no backfield vert stack. Great break throw by Nobis. Turner working the disc, looking for a dump swing. Miscommunication. Nobis back, looking at that throw and go. Great defense by BUDA. I know that Seattle is moving it, but these are tight, tough windows with lack of yards right now. Great dump swing. Ooh, almost a run through D. Great recover, good help. Uh-oh. Attenborough in unmarked, looking for it. Another pick was called. This is a dangerous situation. You can tell Jasper saying, getting frustrated with his team on the spacing on their vert stack. Space out, get back. Jasper knocking on the doorstep. Still backhand forth. Looking in that corner. Oh, toes. Footwork by Will Turner. Getting pumped.
I believe they call him Bootstrap Bill. Bootstrap Bill showing some great footwork out there, but also doing such incredible work that whole point for the Seattle team. We see Bootstrap in the back of the stack right now, waiting for his time, seeing that there's still people in the space, and now attacking his defender's hips, making this cut, and look at that throw. Getting down low to make that throw to the break side in the end zone, and that's a score for the Seattle boys. It's interesting. I don't know if it's just the green shirt or what, but Willie Turner's kind of got a Dylan Freechild vibe to him, doesn't he? Might just be the face paint and the green shirt that looks like those ducks. But Will Turner actually doing a fantastic job, going every other multiple times, being a reset, clearing out, doing what he needs to do for his teammates on offense.
Clock ticking down. Need a break to tie the game. What are you telling your line right now if you're a Henry fan or Kelly Johnson?
Oh, I know that Henry's out there being the pump man for every single person out there. He's always the first person down on the field whenever he's running, so he's looking to put energy into this team on defense right now. I think that Kelly has got her strategy, calling whatever they're calling, but knowing that every single person on this team believes in what they choose to do, right? So it's committing to if you're going to bracket, committing if you're going to be person, and taking that matchup, knowing that your teammates are going to be tight on their person, but also heads up, knowing that they've got your back. And just still instilling belief into this team as they go down on defense, looking for that break to tie the game.
And BUDA right now, confident in their O-line. Right now, their O-line has been so relentless. Not only their cuts, but their discipline and patience, attacking the open side, attacking the break side, swinging from sideline to sideline. They have been relentless. Let's hope that BUDA right now is confident in their kind of players and their team strategy, that they're going to come down, and I'm expecting just a march down hold right now at this point.
Yeah, it would be interesting if they had a pull play set up, maybe a Cole to Orion as we've seen in the past, but I bet Seattle's ready for those two to be looking to throw to each other.
Oh, we got a horizontal. Here we go. Horizontal from BUDA, again with a junk look from Seattle. Great defense. Finding the good pockets, though, right now, BUDA. Seeing if they can settle in. It looks like Seattle has transitioned out. Keep an eye on how BUDA is running their horizontal. This is kind of one of the few times BUDA's run horizontal. Again, big rip. Tony's helping. Into space. Oh, it's there. Oh, great grab by Tony.
Excellent job by both Seattle players to be there to sandwich Orion, have one person go up behind, one person go up in front, and make him have to really go up for the disc, and Seattle able to come down with it, looking for this break opportunity to tie the game up.
Atkins on the sideline, looking to try to capitalize and get a break and tie this game up. Swinging back to the middle. Tony looking to the end zone. No options. High stall count. Little of a flick of a backhand. Too far for Isaac. That's a heartbreaker. That felt like a big point, hopefully to convert. Let's see if they can dig in and get this D. BUDA going back to their horizontal. Swinging it far side. Great recognition of the poach. Cole taking off deep. See if he comes back. Hammer. Cole looking. Oh, and picks it out of the sky. That is fun. We have a little bit of a flip between Orion and Cole, where normally Cole is throwing and Orion is grabbing, but right now Orion says, hey, that looked like pretty fun. I'm going to wind and throw this hammer, and Cole getting up. Skying for a hammer is not easy. Look at this young man get up. Woo! Great throw. Great grab. I think catching a hammer high is one of the more difficult things. I know it's an odd thing, but just by the way the Frisbee is made, not being able to get your like kind of thumb in like a good spot to grab, it just like doesn't fit as well. And is a lot of times you see those bobbled.
Yeah, I completely agree. Very difficult to go up and over someone for the hammer catch. Interesting that we see Cole take off from the handlers, that he's been such a threat with the disc. So maybe as Seattle, you were not quite ready for him to take off deep. As you said, they kind of switched roles between Orion and Cole there. Also, BUDA doing a fantastic job using the whole width of the field, able to move it from sideline to sideline. I saw multiple, even late in the stall count, chances where they were able to get it to the sideline in one throw, using their break throws, having a handler clear out, someone come back from the rail position, able to move the disc and open up this field for their offense.
Clock ticking down. When the clock hits 0, it's going to be hard cap. That doesn't mean the game is completely over, but if the game, you finish out the point, once the clock goes to 0, you finish out the point, and if the game is tied after that, you play one more. Those are the rules for hard cap. We'll see if it gets there, but right now, Seattle needs to capitalize and push the game to even possibly get to hard cap.
Yeah, they're going to have to score quick to even get there at this point.
And if I was the BUDA coach, I'm going to that cup that's been effective, also slowing them down, and you know that Kelly's calling a pull play right here. I think just a cup just to kind of slow people down, get in their heads. You know, these players are also itching to run, and a cup just kind of messes with teams' heads. Side stack, looks like they're in person. Forces backhand. Nobis on the break side. Floats up high. Oh, defender slips. Oh, Soren coming in, picking up. Turner, again, another float high. There looks like a small collision.
Some player actually lost his shoe in that collision or that slip right there. Was that correct? Was there a shoe on the ground, or did I just make that up?
I think you made that up.
All right, never mind.
But definitely could have been a shoe and put it on really quickly. Turner on the doorstep. Seattle looking to get in their end zone. Nobis, footworked in. I'm sorry, Martin, footworked in. That's a big time goal. 12-13. The game is 2-14. Hard cap is on.
All right, so Seattle's still got some more game left to play. Game to 14, we're at 12-13. Seattle showing that they're able to score in this point. Martin with some excellent footwork to get that goal on the scoreboard for Seattle.
And just to clarify, Hardcap went off in that point, needed to finish and score. Game is over. BUDA taking it down. Fantastic fight. Coming back from half, not even just down 1, or down 2, I apologize. Showing that relentless trust in them. Thank you, fans, for giving that wonderful support and hard work. I think, yeah, big shout out to the fans, really supporting the play. Make sure you stay tuned for the next game of the U20 versus the Voyagers. But I think this game really went back to this discipline on defense and discipline in the end zone. There were so few turnovers that the ones that when you did get the disc, you really had to capitalize. And BUDA showed this patience of saying, okay, we're on the doorstep. We're going to dump swing. We're not going to force it. We're not going to force it. We're not going to force it. And attack sideline to sideline, undercut to undercut. Yes, Cole made some amazing plays. Yes, Orion made some amazing plays. But it was this team effort of relentlessly fighting, relentlessly being disciplined and patient, and attacking when it was your moment. Incredibly blown away by BUDA's ability, not only on the field, but their composure that they showed as teammates. I'm really excited to see also how this team grows. Talking to their coach, talking about how they're young. How does this team develop? You know, when you're already this close and you're already best friends with each other, knowing, okay, a lot of us are also coming back next year. Not only do we get to grow and build together this year, this was one of their first games together, but you also get to work so much together next year. And that's so fun. And 13-12, folks at home, folks in the crowd, we got ourselves just such a fun game of Ultimate. We had so little of the turnovers and mistakes. We got to see people go up in the air and work it out. So much fun. We really want to thank everyone who came out and was on the stream, but also we want to give a big shout out to all of our sponsors. Without your support, we could not make this tour possible. They are rocking it. Not only are we appreciative of all the gear, Fulcrum coming out, but we have 5 Ultimate, Cut Camp, Spike Ball, all the Got Your Back teams from Seattle, Game Point Performance, Fulcrum Media, Friction Gloves, Aria Disc, all of that support. And you know what? The volunteers, the bus driver who's been taking us out, all those coaches that not only have helped these players get to where they are from the middle school, maybe even some of these players practice in elementary school, the parents driving out to practices, some of the coaches showing up are working so hard. We really appreciate all the support. We're going to get down to the field in a little bit and talk to the ARIA player of the game. It's so important. Not only has this player shown excellent job on the field, but work out on the community.
My name is Abby Abramovich, and I'm down here with Parker Lynn Butler, one of the players for the BUDA team. Parker, congrats on a wonderful game playing against the Seattle squad. I'm so excited to present Parker with the ARIA Player of the Game Award. He not only had excellent athletic ability out on the field, but also showcased incredible spirit of the game. Parker, really quickly for the fans, we just want to know, what has the sport of Ultimate and its values meant to you?
For me, I've been playing Ultimate for a long time, and just having all the people that I know in the Ultimate community, like all around me, and just seeing the spirit when we play, it kind of like goes into the rest of my life too, and it just, the idea of spirit of the game carries over, and it's nice.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Parker. We're going to present you with your disc, and you'll also get to give 10 discs to an organization of your choice later. Thank you so much. Here's the disc for you right here as the ARIA Player of the Game. Thank you so much for watching, and please stay tuned. We have a U20 girls game coming up next.